Welcome back to the beach as we approach the halfway point of the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux season. The headlines are all about Robert de Haan. Weather is perfect. There is a massive crowd here today. Welcome everybody along to Circuit Zandvoort. We are in the Netherlands. We are located in the North Sea dunes of Netherlands, but it is scorching hot, 31.5 degrees centigrade. The track is up to 40.3. There's very little wind, but conditions are absolutely perfect. To be by the seaside, it is a party atmosphere here. The crowd have been enjoying the sunshine, and they have been enjoying a fantastic weekend of racing. As you can see, smiling out in the sand dunes here at Zandvoort. We're part of the DTM package, but this, something really spectacular to wind up the weekend here at Zandvoort, the circuit in the sand. Before we start, though, we just want to mention Anouk here. She had a road accident last Tuesday. She's a very good friend of Lucas van Eindhoven. Very sadly, she's lost her leg as a result of that. And we just want to extend our full support to Anouk. We want to say get well soon. A very, very tough situation to be in. And I know Lucas van Eindhoven is very much thinking of her at the moment. He's put on the bonnet of his car, Kom Anouk, a tribute to her, and just wishing her all the best. And that is echoed by all of us here at Circuit Zandvoort and everybody who's part of the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. That is the man that we've been talking about, because he came into this weekend second in the point standings. He has jumped to the top. He is 16 points ahead of Glenn van Parijs. He's only joined Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux this year, and he has made his mark. And putting the car on pole position means that he's already scored a point before the wheels have even turned in this race. He has had second place, first place, second place, first place. You can see a pattern there, can't you? Starting from pole position will be a brave man who bets against him winning it. You saw Benjamin Packer starting alongside. He's going to give it a good shot, as is Ariel Levy. He's had a mixed weekend, racing in both the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany and Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux series, but qualifying in third place. Talking to him just before the race, he was feeling fairly confident of maybe being able to ruffle a few feathers from that position. Glenn van Parijs, well, he's now second in the points. He's got a 16-point deficit. And yes, first place, that's what he's aiming for. If he can pick up fastest lap, there'll be a bonus point there. But what he really wants, of course, is the top step. That'll be 25 points. Flint Schuring. Well, that's not Flint Schuring. That is the Ariel Levy car once again. We saw a graphic for Flint Schuring, who lines up behind Glenn van Parijs. He is one of the Schuring dynasty, a mighty fast family. Watch out for Flint, because he is going to be coming through as he starts from the third row, fifth position to be precise. There's Ariel Levy once again trying to stay cool, and that is Flint Schuring. You can't miss it. Bright orange and black. His brother, Maurice Schuring, is red hot, as Flint himself, who wants to outshine his brother, and he's doing a very good job of that in his debut year in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. He scored a pole position at Hockenheim last time out. He got his best result yesterday in what was race 5 of the season. He got a second place, so he was delighted with that. Would dearly love to go one better, but he's got an awful lot to do from there. A lot of quick drivers in front of him. Gus Burton for Richardson Racing. It's great to have the British driver on the grid here for this event. His first in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux this year. The car that is sponsored by MAS Motorsport is on the grid. The engines are running and the race is getting ready to start. This is one of the most spectacular sights in motor racing. A Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux style. It is a full grid in this, the 11th season of the championship, a series that goes from strength to strength. All the cars are identical with the exception of the AM cars. They have ABS just to help the amateur drivers as they're coming through the ranks. But it is a series that is getting fiercer and fiercer. And when you've got the likes of Robert de Haan that you're going to have to beat, you really have to have your wits about you. Great to have Benjamin Packer back on the grid, second on the grid grid here. He had a 10th place yesterday, having started from pole position. It wasn't the race he wanted, and he missed Hockenheim. So points are going to be very important for Benjamin Packer as he works his way through this short and sharp race. I could barely hear myself think. The sound of these cars is sensational. This is pure racing, Porsche Carrera Cup style, and we are away on our formation lap. Robert De Haan leading the pack around, getting the heat into the tyres and into the brakes like that's needed. De Haan on pole, Benjamin Packer for August by NGT alongside. On row 2, Ariel Levy, Glenn Van Parijs, the dynamic duo of drivers alongside each other. Row 3, Flint Shearing and Gustav Burton, another Richardson Racing crew from the UK. Rick Kern and Paul Meyer, he had a very strong day yesterday out on row 4. On row 5, Lucas van Eindhoven with that tribute alongside Mika Stanley. On row 6, Dirk Schuten and Horst Felix Felbermeyer, another driver who's also in the German series this weekend. Sasha Norden, he's been really good. And Sam de Jonge line up on row 7. Row 8, Niles Truce did not have a good day yesterday, and Etienne Plurns, but Ryan Radcliffe lines up on row 9 with Max Vales for JW Race Service alongside him. Row 10, Quentin Antonell and Aaron Mason from Revs Motorsport. And on row 11 of the grid, Ralph Poplars, another rapid driver. And we welcome Jules Grols to the grid here on row 11. Mike Rosenberg has Sebastian Lejoux alongside on row 12. And the occupants of row 13, Didier Glorier and Jamie Font alongside each other. Then all gets on row 14, father and son, Rick and Ad, line up alongside each other with Cedric Chasseng in the last of the grid positions. So, the cars on their formation lap, and Robert De Haan leading them around out of turn 12 and out towards Leyendijk, the corner that is named after the Dutch superstar, the driver, the two-time Indy 500 winner. The corner is a great tribute. It is spectacular. It is 18 degrees of banking that launches the cars out onto the home straight and creates overtaking opportunities aplenty into turn 1. So the cars working hard to get the heat into the tyres and into the brakes. It is hot here, so they spend the first part getting the heat into the tyres, and they'll spend the next half an hour trying to preserve them, because tyre degradation may well be an issue as this race continues on its way, primarily because of the intense heat. This is a circuit that is 4.259 kilometres around, 14 turns, 10 to the right and 4 to the left. The real features are Tarzan into turn 1, a banked corner. Turn 3, 19 degrees of banking, and then the mighty Leyendijk turn 14, where the cars come off the 18-degree banking and head out onto the pit straight. A great opportunity to overtake, because with that bank corners, the corner, the drivers are able to get onto the accelerator a lot earlier. They can take that corner flat, pick up a slipstream into turn 1, and in theory make a move. But it can all go wrong. I have to tell you, the gravel traps here are very, very deep. We are at the halfway point of the season. We are ready for 30 minutes of racing. Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux is go! And Robert De Haan, he moves across to shut the door. Benjamin Packer almost got it. Ariel Levy into third, but look at this coming round the outside. Glenn Van Parijs, an audacious move. Around turn 1 they come, but it looks like it's Robert De Haan who has the jump at the moment, but Glenn Van Parijs did exactly what he needed to do, and he jumps up into that second place. Benjamin Packer getting mugged at the start of this race. There's somebody going wide out of turn 3. Here come the cars, 2, 3 abreast they come out to the undulating corner, and there's somebody going wide. Is that Van Parijs? Is certainly one of the cars that is going wide off the circuit. We'll check that out in a minute. It looks like it might be Ariel Levy up into second place, so I think we could have lost Glenn Van Parijs. Yes, we have. Ariel Levy challenging Robert De Haan at the front of this, so we're just going to wait for this to shake out a little. In fact, it was Robert de Haan that we've lost, so a lot of chaos at the front. Is Benjamin Packer in the lead, Ariel Levy taking the lead, Flint Schuring into second place. We're going to need to see some replays of that because we lost some of the front-running cars. Ariel Levy leading the way in the number 87 cars. Benjamin Packer, who's in second place. The safety car is out. Flint Schuring into third, and Gus Burton into fourth. We're going to have a look at some replays there because 1 minute Robert de Haan was there, next minute he wasn't. There was an awful lot going on at the start of that race. Safety car is out. The cars are brought back to a slow pace. So hopefully we'll get a look at what has been going on. That is Glenn Van Parijs. So we did see him going wide. But amongst all of that, we have lost Robert de Haan, the championship leader and the pole sitter. So where is he in all of this? He's down in 6th place. In 5th place, make that. So Robert de Haan having a nightmare start. We'll need to see what happened to him. But Glenn Van Parijs and Robert de Haan, the two championship contenders, both in all sorts of strife at the very start of this race. Right, let's have a look. So the cars all got away well. We're looking towards the front. And it was a great start initially from Glenn Van Parijs. You see him from the inside, swapping to the outside and just trying to make a move around, certainly Benjamin Packer. And then into turn 1. And then, up on turn 3, de Haan went high on turn 3. Got out wide, given the squeeze by Glenn Van Parijs perhaps, and then drops back, so we can see on that banked turn 3, that's where it all came undone. And then, was there a helping hand there as well? Glenn Van Parijs going out wide onto the dirt, loses a load of places, and then it all falls apart for Glenn Van Parijs, and he comes off the track, and it looks as though his afternoon is gonna be over. We are less than 5 minutes into this race, and it really is high drama indeed. Yes, that is Glenn Van Parijs, who is being removed from the circuit. His afternoon is over. His main championship challenger, Robert de Haan, is down into 5th place. Ariel Levy looking for his first ever win in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, leading the way. Benjamin Packer, who has been very, very quick, is behind him. And watch out for Flint Schuring and Gus Burton. Robert de Haan, well, he's not very shy when it comes to moving forwards in a pack. He will have his elbows out, and he will still have his eyes on the top step of the podium. To remind you that Robert de Haan has not finished lower than 2nd place in any race so far in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. You'll see that the incident that did involve Glenn Van Parijs has been noted by the stewards, and it might be some time before we get any kind of decision on that. But it was a very rapid start for Glenn Van Parijs. So we're behind the safety car. To summarise, Ariel Levy leading the way, Benjamin Packer in 2nd, Flint Schuring, Gus Burton, Robert de Haan, Paul Meyer into 6th place, Rick Kern, Lucas van Eindhoven, Mika Stanley and Dirk Schouten rounding out the top 10 ahead of Sam de Jonge and Horst Felix Felbermeyer in 12th. Then it's Sasha Norden, once again leading in the Pro-Am category in 13th place. Leading car in the Am category is Ralph Poplars, who is in 22nd place overall. Wow, we need a breath here, don't we, just to regather ourselves. Great stuff here. We told you it would be entertaining, didn't we? So safety car is out, but it won't be for long because they will be getting the stricken Glenn Van Parijs car. We saw that was already moved out of the way. And who thought that we would be removing him after the first lap of this race? So just the clean-up operation around the track, and safety car will be in on this lap, as you can see from the notification. So Ariel Levy, he has been desperate for that first win. It has come so close so many times, but it keeps slipping away. If it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all this year, both in the Benelux and the German series of Porsche Carrera Cup. But this is now his opportunity. He looked thoroughly disappointed with 2nd place at Hockenheim. Now he's leading the way, and he's got the opportunity to take this top step of the podium. And of course, there's a long way to go yet. We've still got 24 minutes plus 1 lap of racing. We're all trying to keep cool here. Send some water over, why don't you? There's a fashionable look if ever I saw one. It is Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. It's race 6 of a 12-race season. And after this weekend, we will have hit the halfway point. Right, Ariel Levy, he's up at turn 12 at the moment, heading towards 13, weaving to keep heat in the tyres. And also looking to catch Benjamin Packer napping. He wants to go when Benjamin Packer least expects it, and he's done that. He's hit the accelerator. Packer has anticipated it reasonably well. The fans leaning over the balconies filming this, and now here we go. Race back under green flag conditions. It's Ariel Levy who will lead the field over the start-finish line into turn 1. Cars cannot overtake until they cross the start-finish line. Flint Schuring on the outside line, and that was Benjamin Packer along with him. The rest of the cars coming through, so Benjamin Packer solid in second, but now Flint Schuring falling backwards. That's Gus Burton coming through as well. Rick Geertz has been noted for a false start. You can see Robert de Haan taking an incredibly high line out in turn 3. He's got a lot of work to do. He will be impatient to get forwards. Ariel Levy, though, good, solid start ahead of Benjamin Packer. And then Gus Burton up into 3rd place, relegating local driver Flint Schuring. You can see some dirt being picked up. There's a lot of drivers that have been off. Now here comes Robert de Haan on Flint Schuring. We're going to find out what this guy can really do, because he has got a mighty task. He goes to the inside of Flint Schuring. Schuring goes to shut the door, decides not to slam it in his face, because that would not mean anybody winning. Flint Schuring just holding on to it at the moment. That is for 4th place. Robert de Haan still in the 5th place. He's going to have to pick them off one by one. Paul Meyer behind, just far enough back that it gives Robert de Haan the breathing space to make the attack on Flint Schuring. How close is he? Almost pushing him around the corner. Car 75 noted because of the safety car start. That's Etienne Plurnis. So an issue there with his safety car restart. So the stewards are being very busy. Still, very much as you were, but it's all to play for. Look at Horst Felix Felbermayr. He took a wide line out of the corner, didn't he? Out of Luijendijk, down onto the pit straight we come. This is 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Schuring locks it up into turn 1. Exactly what de Haan wanted to do. Pressuring him into a mistake. And Flint Schuring, he will be kicking himself in the car. Could not get it slowed down. He has to take the escape road, and now he sees everybody coming through. Meanwhile, Sam de Jonge and Horst Felix Felbermayr are challenging Dirk Schouten. That is for 10th place. And behind them, Sasha Norden also looking to get in on that particular fight. Great stuff here. Dirk Schouten has been something of a sensation this year. He has been really rapid, as indeed has Sam de Jonge. But Sam de Jonge seemed going very wide in the corner there. I think he held it all together, but under pressure from Horst Felix Felbermayr, the driver from the Felbermayr dynasty, his father and his grandfather, legendary GT racers. I think his dad was racing in prototypes here this weekend, in the race just prior to this, in fact. But Horst Felix Jr. Felbermayr is trying to find a route past that car in front. It is Sam de Jonge, the red car in front of him. Behind, Sasha Norden, well, he doesn't need much of an invitation. If he sees a gap, he's going to be through it like a rat up a drain pipe. Someone else locking up there into the corner. The battles are raging up and down the pack. Lots of racing going on here. Lots of wonderful stuff. Aaron Mason has made a move past Quentin Antonell further back. That is for 19th place. And a lock up there from Sam de Jonge once again. It feels a little like the tyres are crying enough even at this early stage. We're still only 1/3 of the way through the race. And Sam de Jonge holding on to that 11th place. Dirk Schouten has managed to break clear, but Horst Felix Felbermayr shadowing him into the corner. De Jonge takes a fairly defensive line into turn 1, taking it easy there. Sasha Norden there behind as well. Incident between, that'll be Flint Schuring and car 6, Gus Burton, that's been noted by our stewards, but nothing has been given in the way of a penalty. Now up onto turn 3. So many drivers taking so many different lines up through this corner. You can come into this corner from many different directions and get a different launch out of it, but track limits are always an issue on the exit of that turn 3. So the drivers not attracting the attention of the stewards at the moment, and Horst Felix Felbermayr in 11th place, still trying to relieve Sam de Jonge of that 10th position in the treble 7 car. Sasha Norden, he's not done yet though, is he? Right, back to Benjamin Packer. This is the fight for 2nd place, and as long as this is going on, it's allowing Ariel Levy to break clear. 1.8 seconds the last time they crossed the start-finish line for Ariel Levy. Benjamin Packer and Gus Burton, 2nd and 3rd place. And also there, Robert de Haan. Well, you would expect nothing less, would you? So those 3 fighting over 2nd place. Levy managing to break clear at the moment. Paul Meyer is a little way down the road from Robert de Haan, some 1.4 seconds. So de Haan has a bit of space to do something if he wants to, but saying that is one thing, doing it is another. You can see they're well spaced out into turn 1. Benjamin Packer in that 2nd place, the number 92 car for August by NGT into turn 1. Up the banking they go. There is our race leader just stretching his legs. He's opened it up to 2.428 seconds, so doing what he needs to do. And just needs to hold it together. What he doesn't want is a safety car or anything that will cause the field to close up. Car 42 under investigation, Cedric Chasseng. He's had a weekend to forget, a non-finish yesterday and a bit of damage as well. And he has got a 5-second time penalty for a false start. At the moment, Cedric Chasseng is a long way down the order. And he'll just want to forget about this race, won't he, and this weekend. So there we go, there's your confirmation on the screen. And Cedric Chasseng, who is in 28th and last place at the moment. So that 5 seconds is not going to elevate him any further up, is it? Right, Benjamin Packer in 2nd place. Gus Burton, the very rapid driver from the UK. Following him, Robert de Haan, I have to say, by de Haan's standards, he's been quite patient, really. Normally, he's passed him 1 lap, or at least trying. He's a driver who has incurred the wrath of the stewards for track limits issues over the last couple of races that he's been in, but has been good this weekend, has not picked up any penalties. There is Horst Felix Felbermayr in the number 88. He's going to have tied arms. He was in Carrera Cup Germany this afternoon. And Sasha Norden and Flint Schering, after that excursion around the turn 1 gravel trap, just following in his wake along the pit straight they come once again and into turn 1. So our leading driver in the Pro-Am category is still Sasha Norden. He is in 12th place overall. 2nd is Ryan Ratcliffe, who's in 14th place overall. And 3rd is Aaron Mason, who is 15th overall. In the Am category, it is, in fact, Jules Grold, who's taken over Ralph Poplar. So great stuff there. He's just popped up. And he is in 21st place overall. Ralph Poplar's in 22nd. Our fastest lap at the moment is Ariel Levy. So if he can keep that up, he will get an extra point for that as well. But he needs to get to the end of this race. We are now approaching the halfway point. The fights are raging up and down the pack. Ariel Levy is extending his lead as he goes. You can see that no investigation is necessary for that incident that we saw earlier. But car 75, Etienne Plournes, does get a drive-through penalty for a misdemeanor on the safety car restart. He will have to drive through the pits, keeping to the speed limits. That's the silver car at the front with the livery celebrating 75 years of Porsche Sport. And he will be gutted because that's going to drop him down. Somebody is locked up into the corner. It's Flint Schering once again. So Flint Schering having issues with brakes here. You saw the plumes of smoke. I think it was him. Yes, it was. So Flint Schering rejoining. But now he's dropped a long way back. He's out of the points. That'll be 18th place, I think, for Flint Schering. So he has dropped down the order as a result of a mistake there. Right, Etienne Plournes is peeling off into the pits for his drive-through penalty. And he will be pretty fed up about that. Max Vales was with him in 18th place just as he peeled off. So that is going to feel very painful, keeping to the speed limit and rejoining in what will be absolute last place. And that really is a big mistake for him in terms of trying to score any points this afternoon. The number 75 car, well, he's 16th place yesterday was his best result of the year. There's a car into the barriers, turn 3, it's Flint Schuring and Max Fails, so 2 cars into the barrier. Now this is what Ariel Levy doesn't want. He's going to hope that Flint Schuring can get this going, because there is no way they can leave the car there. At the moment, Levy has a 2.794 lead. If the safety car comes out, I suspect it might, because that car doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Safety car is out. So that massive lead that Ariel Levy had built up has disappeared. The safety car is out. Flint Schuring, after such a promising start, he's clearly got issues with the brakes here this afternoon. We've seen a couple of massive lockups, and he's now into the barrier. Let's see what happened here. It looks like he probably went in on his own. Yes, he lost the back end, goes in, debris goes flying, and we were very lucky that Max Vales didn't get involved as well. He just threw the anchors overboard, came to a stop. Safety car is out. 13 minutes remaining of this race. It is Ariel Levy from Benjamin Packer, Gus Burton, Robert De Haan. I can practically hear Robert De Haan's brain ticking now. He'll be going, I can win this one. He's in 4th place. He'll have Paul Meyer behind him, and I have to tell you, Paul Meyer has been mighty impressive this weekend. He got a 4th place yesterday, and that goes with his 4th place that he got in race 1 at Hockenheim 2 weeks ago. But he will not allow Robert De Haan to challenge and leave gaps without occupying them. So, our hard-working staff here at Circuit Zandvoort, once again, at work, waving the flags, and the safety car has done more laps than most of the cars, I think, this weekend. We're hoping to avoid a red flag. We've had far too many of those this weekend as well. But Flint Schuring, well, you can see fluid running down the track. That car will need to be retrieved. Having another look here at, this was his earlier lockup. Well, it just looked to me like complete brake failure. Actually, that wasn't a lockup, was it? He just went straight on. That was at turn 11 at Hans Ernst. There was no smoke, so I'm thinking it's probably not all the fault of Flint Schuring here, and it might be that he's got some serious problems with the brakes on that Porsche. So his afternoon is over. He's a young star who will bounce back. He's not going to match his 2nd place from yesterday, that's for sure. But you look here, he just gets up high, can't slow the thing down. Back end steps out, and then right in front of Max Vales, who just about hits the anchors in time. I don't think there was any contact there, and the number 11 car rejoins, albeit in 24th place. So here come the Red Army once again, picking up an awful lot of money's worth of Porsche. Flint is out of the car, good to see. And he walks away. That banking, it's quite easy to fall down it. I tried to run up it on Friday night, and it is proper steep, I have to tell you. Until you've seen it in real life, you have no idea. But there's Flint Schuring. Well, good on him. Bit of mountain climbing up to the top. Find an exit from the circuit, and hopefully he'll be able to just go away, think about it, and then rejoin us for our next round, which will be in Assen in August. Now, you just saw a notice, car 15 and 46 under investigation after this race. So that was the Glenn Van Parijs and Robert De Haan incident that we saw at the start of the race. So the stewards will be looking at that. It's not really for me to say what I think might or might not happen, but one thing is for sure, Glenn Van Parijs is out of the race, and Robert De Haan is a lot further back than he anticipated being, but they will look at that. Keep an eye on all the socials, because there will be results published. Any updates will be published once this race is over and once this weekend is over. We're into the final third of the race. We are behind the safety car. This is race 6 of a 12-race season for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. This is an angle I should think Flint Schuring and his very supportive father and brother will probably want us to stop showing this, because different angles of hitting the wall, that's never going to be good for conversation, is it? Quentin Antonell did well to avoid getting involved. We saw him just at the start of that, and now getting a car down that slope. I tell you what, that's not an easy thing to do. It is steep, but there we go. They've got it up in the air. They're clearing the debris, and hopefully we're going to be back under green flag conditions before too long. And I think Ariel Levy, well, he's going to be feeling the pressure, because had this gone green flag all the way to the end, I think he would have been in the box seats to really dominate and take the top step. He's still in the best possible position at the moment, but he is going to have Benjamin Packer, Gus Burton, Robert De Haan and Paul Meyer all chomping at the bit when the green flag comes out, trying to find a route past him. So he'll be quite happy if they take their time putting that car behind the barrier. Here we come, once again, the field coming out towards turn 13. Working hard to keep the heat in the tyres and in the brakes, as if that were necessary on a day that's nearly 32 degrees centigrade. But that is what they're doing, and very shortly we will be getting ready for the last 8.5 minutes of racing here at Circuit Zandvoort. We're off the North Sea coast in the sand dunes of the Netherlands. There is a party atmosphere here. The music has been sounding into the night. The sunsets have been breathtaking, and everybody is enjoying the suntan, the sunshine, and I think there's going to be some sunstroke tomorrow morning. An awful lot of people in the direct sunlight and everyone else crowded into the shade of the grandstand. But it is a wonderful event here. We love coming here every year, and Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux absolutely shines in this environment. Always great racing, always spectacular around this banked circuit. Looking down at turn 3, and I think very shortly, yes, we do have indications. So safety car will be in on this lap. Now, Ariel Levy, well, he's getting good at this. He's had a bit of practice. He's going to need to back the pack up once again. And once again, he'll want to catch Benjamin Packer on the brake as he hits the decelerator. I mean, that's the ideal scenario, isn't it? He'll decide when he wants to go. The normal position, well, would normally be heading into about turn 13, but that'll be his decision when he hits the accelerator. He can't increase and decrease his speed excessively, but he can decide when to go. As long as he doesn't overtake the pace car, that really would be a disaster, then all is okay. So the safety car lights will go off in just a few seconds, and that car will disappear off into the distance, and we will be ready for the last 6.5 minutes plus 1 lap of racing for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux style. The spectacular Porsche Carrera Cup Series once again in the sunshine here at Zandvoort. So around towards turn 11 we come. The field now bunching up. A great opportunity to make up positions, a great opportunity to lose positions. Now, Ariel Levy doesn't want to get too close to the safety car. He does not want to overtake it, needs to let it get away. So at the moment, he needs to back off. The Cupra safety car is now up around turn 13. Ariel Levy just weaving. He's like, yeah, I'm taking my time here. And then suddenly it's go. And that's exactly what he does. Benjamin Packer tries to anticipate it, but a good start from Ariel Levy. Gus Burton looking under pressure from Robert De Haan. He sees this as his opportunity. Now, along the pit straight, out towards turn 1. Look at the 4 of them, all slipstreaming in towards turn 1. Almost 3 abreast. Robert De Haan looking to the inside. Gus Burton tries to block. Robert De Haan using his elbows almost into the pit wall. He gets through. He muscles past Robert De Haan up into 3rd place. Gus Burton now under pressure from Paul Meyer. Rick Kern in there as well. And now he spins Paul Meyer backwards into the gravel, and also Lucas van Eindhoven. 2 cars spinning. Van Eindhoven's able to get it going, but Paul Meyer in the gravel trap. Maybe this is going to bring out another safety car, and if it does, I can see this race finishing under the yellow flag. Look at the fighting up and down the pack. It's Ariel Levy who leads the way from Benjamin Packer. Gus Burton getting mugged at the start by Robert De Haan. We told you he wasn't scared to get his elbows out, didn't we? And that's exactly what he's done. Up into 3rd place. Gus Burton down into 4th. Horst Felix Felbermeyer challenging Sam de Jonge. Treble 7. That's for 10th place. Sasha Norden actually has gone past both of them. So Sasha Norden in the front of that queue. Here comes our race leader, Ariel Levy. We have no indication of a safety car yet. Yes, we do. 4.5 minutes remaining. And here it was. Look at that from Robert De Haan. muscling through. He really is the respecter of nobody. And then Paul Meyer getting spat out into the gravel trap. He just makes the light contact, and you can see Lucas van Eindhoven as well, who got caught up there. So Lucas van Eindhoven also suffering, and it was a result of that. And in fact, it was that Dirk Schouten who got into the back of Van Eindhoven, I think it was, but whichever way, he did a spin, he recovered, but that car is going nowhere fast. We have less than 4 minutes plus 1 lap remaining of this race. They're going to have to retrieve that car. You can't just leave it there in a live race circuit and then try and get this thing back under green flag, but I can see this finishing under a safety car, because 3.5 minutes is not very long, and there is the +1 lap after that. So the marshals once again doing all that they can. They have worked their whatnots off this weekend. There have been yellow flags and red flags in almost every race we've had. It is a circuit that creates great entertainment and great racing, but it is a circuit that bites. And we get, oh, safety car in on this lap, so they're going to leave the car there. They just wanted to get the driver to safety. So, well, there's a turn up for the book. So we are going to finish under green flag conditions. So once again, Ariel Levy is going to have to do all that hard work again. Benjamin Packer is going to have to try and get past him again. Robert De Haan, well, he's not happy with third place, is he? Because third place would be his worst finish ever in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. That's how good he is. So he will be lining up Benjamin Packer. Now, if Packer goes defensive, that may allow Ariel Levy to disappear off up the road. So it's really down to what kind of start Benjamin Packer gets as well. If he can get the jump on Ariel Levy, then that will take the heat off from Robert De Haan. But you get the feeling the 46 car, keep an eye on him. He is deadly, as is Gus Burton in the number 6 car behind him. But don't count out Rick Kern as well, Micah Stanley, Dirk Schouten. These are all drivers who are not scared to get involved. And Sasha Norden up into the top. Hey, what a great race he's having, working his way up through the pack. Right, safety car is in. Ariel Levy with less than 2 minutes plus 1 lap now leading the field towards turn 13. He's got to do it all again. He's had lots of dress rehearsals. This is it for real. Now Benjamin Packer has anticipated this better. He's going to have one opportunity to get past into turn 1, but Robert De Haan is already on a mission. Look at De Haan on the outside of Luijendijk. Down the pit straight they come. In towards turn 1. Levy has got the gap that he needed. De Haan looking to the inside. Gus Burton looking to return the compliment from the previous lap. Levy shutting the door into turn 1. Now into turn 2 they come. There's a snake of cars on their way. Less than 90 seconds plus 1 lap remaining. It's Ariel Levy. There's Sasha Norden to the inside of Rick Kern. The 2 cars running side by side, and another spin up on turn 3. Gus Burton, Benjamin Packer, Sasha Norden, after all that hard work, into the barrier on turn 3. Utter disaster. Ariel Levy's okay in the lead, but all hell has broken loose behind him. And this is surely going to bring out a yellow flag. They can't leave those cars there even for the 45 seconds that are remaining. In fact, I think we're going red flag. Yes, we are. Red flag. So this is going to be the end of the race. Car 77 has got a drive-through penalty. That's Paul Meyer for causing a collision. But what a dramatic finish. Robert De Haan got his 2nd place. Ariel Levy finally gets the win that has eluded him for so long. Top step at the podium for Ariel Levy. Let's have another look here. You see Benjamin Packer, well, did he have a helping hand from Robert De Haan? He'd already lost it going into turn 3, and Gus Burton gets in as well. Then Sasha Norden, well, he was the innocent victim in all of that. The rest of the cars having to drop down low to avoid the drama that was unfolding at the top of that corner. So, dramatic end to the race. Race 6, what a way to go into the halftime break of Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. It's Ariel Levy who is going to take his first win. You can see Gus Burton's car is absolutely devastated by that. He's probably going to, well, he's just about misses the billboard, but he has no steering whatsoever, trying to get the thing home. Wow, what a race. Checkered flag is out. Benjamin Packer involved with Robert De Haan, the driver who caused controversy, and Gus Burton. Now, our timing screens have not updated, and it might be that the result is taken from the previous lap because they wouldn't have crossed a sector line in this. The sector line is further round, so I think, well, at the moment you can see who's come in. Ariel Levy is certainly the winner. You can see Mika Stanley and Robert De Haan there as well. So Robert De Haan in second, Mika Stanley is in the third place. Certainly no doubt about the winner, Ariel Levy. How long has he had to wait for this? He was having a frustrating time of it at Hockenheim and at Spa-Francorchamps. And just listening in. Yeah. Celebrations from the Huber Racing team. The driver with the Star of David on the roof, the first Israeli driver ever in Carrera Cup, and I believe the first ever winner in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux from Israel. Driver also does so much for speaking out for LGBT rights with the rainbows on his car as well. The driver is not scared to say it as it is. And now he gets that top step of the podium. Yeah, that way, mate. You should know. Yeah. Up the steps he goes. Ariel Levy. Well, the timing screens are still saying Benjamin Packer and Robert De Haan in second and third. And it really does depend on whether the race steward is going to take it back to the previous lap. Of course, there may be penalties applied as well. But there is our winner. Well, we know that much, don't we? Ariel Levy for Huber Racing, taking what has been a spectacular win after a controversial and dramatic but thoroughly entertaining weekend here at Circuit Zandvoort. The number 87 car, who just kept out of trouble. Well, there you go. That is the result that's coming through. It's what's on our timing screen, so it would have been taken from the previous lap. Benjamin Packer in second place, ahead of Robert De Haan. Sasha Norden was the leading Pro-Am driver, and the leading driver in the Am category would have been Ralph Poplars. But I think the stewards are going to be burning the midnight oil tonight as they try and work out whether there's penalties to be awarded. They've certainly got a lot that they said they're going to be looking at after the race. Once again, keep an eye on the socials, keep an eye on the websites. We'll give you the updated results just as soon as we can. If there are any updates, this could be the way that it finishes. Ariel Levy, Benjamin Packer, Robert De Haan. De Haan, third place, his worst finish ever in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Who knew? Gus Burton, well, he's showing in fourth place despite that damage. Rick Kern in fifth, ahead of Mika Stanley, Dirk Schuten, Sasha Norden, Sam de Jonge, and Horst Felix Felbermeyer rounding out the top 10. There's lots of discussions to be had here, I think, as a result of, yeah, I think his face just kind of summarises the whole thing, really, doesn't it, for Richardson Racing. So I'm just kind of almost worried to see who comes up on the podium. So we've got De Haan there, we've got Ariel Levy. And I think there may be just an element of discussion
to be classified
over the final result. The timing screens are normally gospel, and the timing screens are saying that it is Levy, Packer, and De Haan as the 1, 2, 3. But as you can see, there is just a bit of a delay. Everybody reviewing their video. Yeah, we've all got a different angle on those incidents, haven't we? In the sunshine here at Zandvoort. Well, we just have a moment and we're waiting to remind you, we have a short break during the summer, and Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux is back from the 11th to the 13th of August. We're heading to Assen. Not too far up the road, is it? That'll be great. And then to Zolder in September as part of the Truck Grand Prix there, 8th to 10th September. Then it all comes to a close as part of the DTM package once again, this time at the Red Bull Ring, 22nd to the 24th September, heading to the Styrian Mountains in Austria. And if you've never been there, you really ought to get yourself along, where the scenery is breathtaking. Right, now, that's Robert De Haan who's not looking especially happy. There's Micah Stanley next to him. So I am just waiting for the confirmation on what will happen with the results. So at the moment, well, we can certainly crown the top step, can't we? And yeah, we're just getting the confirmation through now. So that is that's Robert de Haan, who's not looking especially happy, but then anything less than the win, he normally doesn't. Micah Stanley going back to the car. So he thought it was second place. I would suggest from the body language that they are taking it back. The thing is, the cars do need to cross a timing line.
Can't be classified.
The car that didn't finish can't beat us, is what they're saying. The logistic problem is that if they haven't crossed a timing line, then they can't catch a result. So the last timing line they crossed was on the start-finish line. So they hadn't got to the next sector, so it would have to be taken from the previous lap. Robert de Haan, some nice visual illustrations of what occurred there. So conversations are being had. An element of confusion, as you heard from the mechanics and the team that were down in the pit lane. You can't win a race if you haven't finished it, but the rules do allow it. There's Sasha Norden there as well. Lots of discussions. Well, there's no such thing as an uncontroversial finish to a race in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, is there? Every time there's always something exciting that happens. But yeah, it's what makes it great. It's why we keep coming back for more, isn't it? Pure entertainment. It was thoroughly entertaining. A few furrowed brows there at the moment. And I think there are still conversations being had. So we are going to play you a few highlights just while we wait for the podium ceremony. And let's have a look at some of the drama that's unfolded here at Zandvoort. You might have thought you've just watched an entire season of highlights. That was just the race, the last half an hour. So we're just waiting for some drivers to come up onto the podium. I think, I'm pretty sure that we're going to go with Ario Levy, Benjamin Packer, and Robert de Haan. I think because we had stricken cars around the circuit, the drivers have to be brought back to the podium. Sasha Norden finished in 8th place. So he wins in the Pro-Am category. Niles Troost was 2nd in the Pro-Am category, and Aaron Mason was 3rd. And the winner in the Am category, Ralph Poplars, who finished in 20th place, ahead of Rick Geertz and Ad Geertz. So father and son doing a great job. They've had a good weekend here. They've qualified a long way down, but have fought back in the race. Of course, qualifying has had its own fair share of drama, as we look at Robert de Haan there, who was mixing it up in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany race earlier on today. And I think it might be Benjamin Packer that we're waiting to appear on the ceremony. For the ceremony, the crowd in the sunshine, very, very entertained. And once again, just while we have a moment, I'm just going to once again wish get well soon to Anouk, the lady who was being tributed to on the bonnet of Lucas van Eindhoven's car. We really do hope that you make a rapid recovery and that you're back to normal. Sending you all the love and all the hugs from everybody in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. And I hope you're watching this or able to watch this and we hope that you'll be back at the circuit sometime soon. So I'm listening to the circuit tannoy now, just trying to make sure what happened. So I'm pretty sure, well, we know Ariel Levy, I think it's Benjamin Packer and Robert De Haan. I think that's where it's going to be. So we will hopefully have a ceremony very, very shortly. We do need to get going. We've still got F1 Academy to go this afternoon, and they're all champing at the bit, ready to take to the track. And there's also a curfew on the circuit, so we can't leave this too long, apart from the fact I don't think there are any floodlights. So, yeah, hopefully we'll have something very soon to bring you in the way of pictures. But make sure you tune in for Assen. We have had so many spectacular races. Spa-Francorchamps, well, it was wet and windy there. That seemed like a long time ago, didn't it? In the cold of Spa-Francorchamps. Then Hockenheim 2 weeks ago. It was hot and sunny, and now even hotter and even sunnier here at Zandvoort. I can hear a podium announcer. And here's Robert De Haan in that third place. I think Benjamin Packer has turned up. Yes, we held the show up for you, sir. Benjamin Packer into second place.
And the winner from Israel.
But taking his first ever win in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, it's Ariel Levy. Now a representative from Huber Racing. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a national anthem you haven't heard for a while.
First, listen to the Israeli national anthem.
That was rather beautiful, that was. So that was the national anthem. I've not heard that before, and I think you might be hearing it again. Looking at the performance of Ariel Levy this year, I think he's going to be bothering the top three for the rest of this season. The trophies are being awarded. Robert Hahn getting his first ever third place trophy in Carrera Cup Benelux. I'll go with all the first and seconds that he's had. Benjamin Packer, despite that controversy on the last lap, is able to take the second place trophy. The driver who will cherish that #1 trophy, Ariel Levy. And of course a trophy also for Huber Racing. Christoph Huber's crew, who work so hard across so many different championships and do such a good job. Legends in the world of Porsche racing. So the photos are taken. It has been a dramatic time here in Zandvoort. We'll see you in Assen in August. Bye-bye.